Perhaps a different approach then is needed to the problem of other minds, and we can find that in the views of Maurice Merleau-Ponty, who was a French philosopher, as you can tell simply by looking at this photograph. Merleau-Ponty denies a crucial assumption made by both Mill and Russell. According to Merleau-Ponty, knowledge of others' minds does not depend on knowledge of one's own mind. So the analogy of the beetle in the box is fatally flawed. That's not how knowledge of other minds works. It's the wrong way of setting the problem up. Incidentally, in the piece you read, Merleau-Ponty critically discusses the views of Descartes, René Descartes, on the relation between the mind and the body. We will be looking at those in more detail later in the course, so do bear them in mind. Here is an evocative passage in which Merleau-Ponty tries to make his view plausible. My interlocutor gets angry, and I notice that he's expressing his anger by speaking aggressively, by gesticulating and shouting. But where is this anger? People will say that it is in the mind of my interlocutor. What this means is not entirely clear, for I could not imagine the malice and cruelty which I discern in my opponent's looks, separated from his gestures, speech and body. None of this takes place in some otherworldly realm, in some shrine located beyond, or for that matter, in the body of the angry man. It really is here, in this room, and in this part of the room, that the anger breaks forth. So you can see that, according to Merleau-Ponty, the view that one's mental life is like a swarm of beetles and other insects, visible to oneself, but completely invisible to others, is just wrong. We can observe that someone else is expressing his anger in much the same way that we can observe that someone else is lighting a cigarette. Next time, how does Mallory know facts in M? If you have time, read the chapter introduction in the Norton Anthology. Do read Sarah Paul's paper. As I said, I have an interview with her coming up. That should be pretty good. You're probably wondering what was actually in this box. Well, I was curious too. It's actually only made of cardboard, so I could open it no problem. And lo and behold, well, it was an animal, but for what it's worth, not a beetle. See you on Wednesday.